Let's move to some CFL north of the border. TSN eliminates broadcasting 2 preseason games. They refuse to say why. Just another example of the CFL failing to cash in on opportunities to grow the game.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to have them. Try some new broadcasting techniques. Try some interactive media with the fans. If it doesn't work, it's preseason. Who cares? But at least you tried it and you're trying to connect with your fans. Now they're doing nothing. I think it's trash.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me why you wouldn't have them on. I mean, what else are they even showing? They don't have the rights to the NHL playoffs. Playoffs will obviously still probably be going on at that point, but they don't have the rights to them. Anyways, you got 5 channels for the most part and plus a streaming option. Like, why not show the 2 other games? So chance to grow the league and for the CFL as well. I mean, like, why aren't you making more of a stink out of this and pressing them to figure out why they're not going to broadcast? Again, another terrible decision by TSN and another one that I'm not really surprised by.
Bang for your buck. The CFL still has to bring them a good amount of money.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why they're not using the preseason. And I'm harping on this point I just made to reinvent the game. A lot of the fans are like, hey, TSN, your presentation is old.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So you got to move forward and you got to try new things.
Yeah. And that's what preseason's for. I mean, check it out, see what you can do.
Exactly. It's not just about players on the field. It's about you and your presentation and what you can do. Gosh, It's horrible. Come on. Stop being lazy.
Good old TSN in the CFL.
Online options that you can
do. There's so much, man.
Hey,
there's so much.
And call the next play. I know it's gimmicky, but it's preseason and gets people at least eyes to the game and trying stuff and hitting your website and hitting your... Let's go forward to some fun stuff. Who are you taking? We did great. We did Western all-time offense last week. That was hard. That's a mouthful. Who are you taking for your Eastern all-time starting offense this week? Let's start with quarterback. You want to go first?
Yeah, I'm going to pick the same guys last week. Doug Flutie.
All right.
I could have gone Damon Allen, but Doug Flutie to me is just the type of guy that you could throw in there and he'd win. You know, and he wasn't around in the CFL long enough, but I would still figured he could have done damage if he played a 10, 15 year career in the CFL.
Yeah, Damon Allen is underrated. I chose Damon Allen. Like, he is possibly the greatest dual threat quarterback. He is not even possibly, but no. He is the greatest dual threat quarterback in CFL history. He played for Toronto. He played for Hamilton. He played for Ottawa. He won a Grey Cup at the age of 41 in Toronto. Won the Grey Cup MVP, and the next year he threw for over 5,000 years, man. Isn't that crazy? And he broke Warren Moon's professional football record of passing yards. Of course, Anthony Calvillo broke out of that, but still. And that's while he was compiling yards as the 3rd greatest rusher in CFL history. I'm taking Damon Allen. But I'm taking Damon Allen.
I think Doug Flutie, if he would have played the same amount of time as Damon Allen in this league, would have destroyed all that stuff. So
that's the thing. Damon Allen played till he was 40 something.
Yeah. Well, what was Flutie in the NFL? Rare. He was over 40, wasn't he?
Yeah, but in the NFL, he didn't play that much.
No,
that's true. He was a backup.
That's true. He could have played, but Buffalo, Bob Johnson.
And this is after Damon Allen broke his leg. Man,
all right, I'll agree with you.
I'm just saying, I love David.
Damon Allen was good.
I'm just saying, he's amazed me. Because all this stuff, I'm like, this is crazy. Every time I look into Damon Allen, like, this is crazy. This is crazy. And I got excited, so I took him. All right. Who do you got for running back?
Mike Pringle. Got to take Mike Pringle. He was dominant with the Owls there and drove the Bombers nuts and all that. So he was a tough running back to bring down, man.
What a scary guy. Like, I remember sitting in the student section in Winnipeg Stadium. Those guys used to terrorize him. Steroids, steroids every time. And that would just make him angry.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, why are you doing this? And then he'd rack up like 150. I'm like, so you see, now you just made him angry, whether or not. And I didn't think he was. He was just a phenom.
Yeah, he's one of those guys where you just don't taunt him. Just leave him. But because he was already going to do damage. And then once he taunt him, it was even worse.
And then Mike Tyson, just that quiet killer.
Yeah.
Don't mess with him. Who do you got for...
Are you taking Mike Pringle as well?
Oh yeah, I'm not joking
Okay.
around.
All right.
I took George Reed in the West like you did, and
Yeah.
you can't go against greatness.
No.
Like I get it, he played in Baltimore, but his major years were in Montreal.
Yeah.
And he was just dominant.
Big time.
Oh, and we had great defenses in Winnipeg too.
Oh yeah.
And he didn't care.
No, not at all, man. I mean, he would just run over your guys like crazy.
Oh, man, just a terror, man. Got two receivers. I want to hear your first one.
Oh, this one was tough. I went, and I'm not totally sure on some of these, but I went with Ben Cahoon as my one receiver. Yeah. Long career in Montreal. Put up the yards, like consistent every year. And he was just a go-to guy in Montreal when they needed the yards, they needed the first down. He was the guy.
Absolutely. I can not pick. I had to pick Ben Cahoon. Like he's still third in receptions all time.
Yeah.
With 1,017. Played his whole career in Montreal. Two-time most valuable Canadian. Greatest Canadian receiver in my history, in my books. So I'll take him.
It's funny because when you think of him, you don't think of something flashy, right? So when I was looking at this, I'm like, really, is Ben Cahoon one of the ones? Because he wasn't that flashy kind of wide receiver that you know, right? Kind of thing. Yeah. Like they all got the Eagles, they all got that, but Ben Cahoon wasn't really that. So it's like, okay, is this the right pick or not? So yeah,
Mr. Consistent. And I remember we talked about Anthony Calvillo and leading those teams with 4 1,000-yard receivers. Yeah, he did that twice, and Ben Cahoon was the only consistent one on both of those.
Yeah, that's funny. Crazy. That's crazy. I'm not surprised at all.
He's so good, and he's such a nice person. And he had that crazy catch in the Grey Cup. Remember that one-hander that he stretched out for? Oh,
yep.
My goodness.
Oh, so good.
Second receiver, I got Daryl Mookie Mitchell, rookie of the year with the Argos, when he got like 1,500 yards and 17 touchdowns in 1 year. Won the Grey Cup that year. And the next year he got like 2,000 yards and 160 receptions, which is still a CFL record. So I'm going to take Daryl Mookie Mitchell.
I can't argue with you on that one because I got him as well on my list. So we went the same at the wide receiver spot.
Still 10th, still top 10 in receiving all-time yards.
Daryl Mookie Mitchell, man. I just another guy that I just remember tormenting the Bombers here and there. So always played well against them.
He still has a record for most receptions in a game too. So 16.
Yeah.
I'd like to know who that was against. Anyone, if you don't have to look Google, if you know the answer, put that in the comments. Who did Mookie Mitchell get his 16 receptions against? If it's the Bombers, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. It was in the mid-90s to late 90s, and the Bombers weren't that good. Hey, friends and neighbors, don't forget to check us out online on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at Ray Benny Sports. And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel. Leave a like, leave a comment, tell us what you think.